Good morning. It is Saturday. It's almost 6 o'clock and I'm headed to the horse park. I'm supposed to be on at 7:30, so I'm gonna go and groom him, and then I'll change and then put his saddle and stuff on. I was gonna try to just wear my show clothes to the horse park today, but I just know that my white pants wouldn't be white anymore, so I put those on last minute. We're doing second level test 1 and first level test 2 today. I didn't know I was doing first level test 2 until last night, because I guess for championships you have to do first level test 1 and 2, so I'm doing that. I've never done it before, and I have to memorize it because you can't have a collar. Wish me luck. Here is my second level test 1 test. I think we ended up with a score of 62 or 63 on this. So down center line, he looks really cute. He's a little downhill, and then he gets fussy in the halt, which he still occasionally does. It's very random though. It's out of nowhere. He'll just do that sometimes. He's still a little down in the pole, I think, for second level in my opinion. So to make him a true second level horse, he still needs to be probably an inch higher in the pole. And then he has a tendency to sometimes fall behind the vertical. We have a trot lengthening here. So that was cute. He came up a little bit through that, which was nice. I should have let his neck get a little bit longer though, to make that a true opening. I think it was actually medium trot, not a trot lengthening. And then we have a shoulder in here. This one was decent angle-wise, but he was just a little inconsistent in it. And then this one was more consistent, but we didn't have enough angle. Although while I was riding it, it felt like I had a lot more angle than I did watching it, which is kind of annoying. And then we halt and back up. It wasn't square, but it was a nice soft halt, which I appreciate from him. And then his backup was also really soft and nice. And then we have a medium walk, which isn't his best thing, but he's not terrible at it. He's got a good walk. He just gets a little anticipative sometimes in that medium walk, thinking I'm going to ask him to trot or canter. And then a free walk. He could have probably stretched a little lower there. Oh, there he goes. It's better. And then he starts anticipating that trot a little bit when I gather the reins up. And then we have a canter transition at A. Wasn't terrible. It could have been more prompt. And a lengthening, which I was conservative about because sometimes going right, he will swap his lead if I ask him for too much. And again, I think that was actually a medium canter, not a canter lengthening. And then we're supposed to have a 10-meter circle, which sometimes he just decides he wants to canter in place for a couple steps during those. And then our counter canter, which was going nicely, and then he got tired, and then I thought he was going to swap his lead, so I took my leg off for a second, and then he broke. But it's okay, we got it back. Just a little mistake. Happens to the best of us. It was a nice transition. I leaned up a little bit though. And then this is our extended canter, which I went for a little bit more. And then in those, he just tends to get a little too low in the pole, which we're working on. And a 10-meter circle left, which are definitely better than right. His right side is definitely more stiff and less supple, but it's getting better. And then here he looks very nice and up. And he tries to trot again. And I say, oh no, sir. We're not going to mess up both counter canters. He's a little inconsistent in the contact here because he's anticipating cantering again. And then we have our extended trot, which wasn't really that great. It could have been better. It's okay. And then again, he's just a little inconsistent in the contact here. He was just being a little anticipative. But he gave me a pretty nice halt. This is first level test 2. So I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really know this test anymore. I memorized it for a day and then I forgot it. But I know you start down center line. And he has a super nice little bouncy trot here coming down center line. He looks cute. And then again, a little fussy in the halt. I know that he does that sometimes when I use too much hand instead of my seat, so that was probably my fault. And then you track right. I think I have a trot lengthening across the diagonal, I believe. I think he gave me a nice one there. I couldn't really tell from the angle of this video, but I think I remember it being quite nice. And then you turn down center line and leg yield back over to the rail. Leg yields are probably his hardest movement. They always have been. But I was happy that he didn't get fussy because a lot of the time he'll get fussy in the connection, and there he was actually pretty consistent. He just didn't want to move his haunches over. But we're working on it. Very nice trot lengthening he gave me right here. I really liked that. Those are getting pretty good. Definitely a lot of progress from when I first got him there. And then he looks very nice and round there. And again, another leg yield. This one he moved off of my leg a little bit better. But he did get a little fussier in the connection. So we just have a lot of work to do on those. And a walk transition was a lovely soft walk transition. I think I go from M to V in a free walk. Can't really tell. I think he could have stretched more in this free walk too. It was nothing spectacular. And then I pick up my trot at K and canter at A. It was nice. I liked it. And then I have a circle at P, a 15-meter circle. Circles are cantering circles is one of his hardest movements also. It's very funny. And he's a funny horse because he can do more upper level movements. Like I've done some baby canter pirouettes and I've done like real half passes on him and they're fantastic, but circles are hard. And then that was a lengthening, which I could have gone a little bit more aggressive at, but I did not. I stayed pretty conservative through this ride too. And then you trot and canter at F. His simple changes are getting a lot better. He did hit the fence there though. But he's getting a lot more consistent in his connection through downward transitions in general now. And then again, circling is just very hard for him. So we ended up overshooting that a little bit. And then a big lengthening. I have to put him in a shoulder in for this lengthening, or he will threaten to swap his lead. He's just a little uncoordinated still at this point in his life. although it was much worse when I first got him. And then a stretchy trot circle at B. Ooh, look at that trot. He's so fancy. He's a fancy man. Sometimes he trips and almost falls on his face, but when he's fancy, he's very fancy. You can be clumsy and fancy. And then down center line, this test we ended up with a 67, which I was really happy with. I thought it was a nice, cohesive, flowy test. It was a terrible halt. Awful. I wanted to show you guys these bathrooms. There's like a trailer with like a ton of them, and they're air conditioned and like so nice. Like this is nicer than my bathroom at my home. It's so nice, and they're air conditioned. It's beautiful. It's incredible. Hi. I'm back at the house. I'm gonna shower soon. I'm gonna lay in bed while I talk to you. I don't know, but now I'm dirty and I'm in bed. Never mind, I'm not gonna do that. I lied. This is better, I think. I don't know. I just got back to the house. It's like 4:30. I'm really happy with today. Pasta was very good. He tried really hard. He was a little dull, but it's also so hot and he's probably so tired, so obviously I'm not upset about that. We ended up with a 62 in our second level test 1 and a 67 in our first level test 2, which I'm really happy with. I'm really happy that we got that score in 1-2 because that's our championship test. So I'm very happy about that. And yeah, he was just really good. And any experience in the arena, like at a show that's positive for him, is just a big win right now. So I'm just super happy about that. And it was just a good day. And I'm feeling better. My head still hurts a little bit, but like I can function pretty normally. So that's good because I haven't been able to do that in like over a week. So I'm gonna shower, and I kind of want like dessert of some sort, but I don't know if I want to venture out of the house to get it. So that might not happen.
Like your worst clip. Like back up though. Like it's, oh, you're taking a video. Funny.
Hello. It's 8 a.m. I just got to the horse park. We have a later start today. Oh. Oh. I've yawned many times this morning. I don't ride till like 9 something. Actually, my on time is actually kind of soon. I maybe should have thought about that. I did not consider this. I feel like my on time is in like an hour, so I should maybe start getting ready. So here's my test from Sunday. This is first level test 3 again. We were in a different ring, and it got him like just spicy enough that he was really uphill and light. but he doesn't really spook, so he wasn't spooky. It was perfect. It was fantastic. So he came in with a really cute trot, and then the halt was a little iffy. I got a little too handsy again. I always have to remind myself that he really halts off my body, and if I use too much hand, he gets fussy. But this trot's super cute. A little inconsistent in the contact. And then we have a lengthening across the diagonal. It's mid. It's fine. He wanted to push into my left leg a little bit there. And then he was a little looky at the banners down here. But again, it's just enough to make him look really cute. And then we have our leg yield off of the rail. So he's getting a lot better about moving off of my leg, because it used to be really hard for him to move his haunches off of my leg. He's just struggling now with keeping a consistent connection while he leg yields. So that's what we need to work on next. And then that 10-meter circle, the size was a little bit not correct. That was my fault. And then we have a stretchy trot circle in the middle. I don't love this test. I feel like it doesn't flow very well. And it's kind of like random. I don't know. I don't like it very much, but it is what it is. So cute. And at A, we have a canter transition. I remember I was really happy with him and how he came back there from that stretchy trot, because he stayed pretty consistent and he didn't get fussy when I gathered my reins up. And that was a pretty decent transition. He got a little above the bit, but it was fine. And then here I was just being kind of conservative about this loop, because we did have that lead swap going this way the other day. So I just wanted to be conservative about it. And then we have a 15-meter circle, which I'm terrible at. I'm so bad at these. Like, for some reason, the size just doesn't make sense to me. But that's fine. It's fine. And then a lengthening. I liked that lengthening. I think it was fine. And he got a little longer in the neck without getting too low in the pole, which is a big thing for him, because you do want them a little longer in the neck for those lengthenings, but he tends to get really low. So I was really happy with that. And then I was happy with this little downward transition here. It was quite cute. And again, a nice downward transition there. Quite cute. We have this weird free walk loop thingy. Another reason I don't love this test, because I find it weird that you're supposed to free walk, but then you do this loop, so you have to bend. But free walk is supposed to be with, like, no contact, so I don't really know how I'm supposed to do that. I don't know. I find it very confusing. But it was a decent free walk. Like, I was fine with it. He got a little bit fussy there. I think he, like, saw something that distracted him for a second. And then I was like, no, you pay attention to me. And then he was like, ugh, fine. It's fine. He's a teenager. He gave me a cute medium walk. And then he just was anticipating a canter transition there for a moment. But then I was like, trotting. And he was like, okay. And then we have another leg yield. Ugh, they're just so hard for him. And this is better than they used to be. Like, he used to not be able to leg yield at all. It's a real struggle. But we're working on it. My reins were a little too long here. Sometimes after my free walk, I just forget to shorten them enough. And then we have a lengthening, which was quite cute. I liked that. And a canter transition. That was a very nice transition. And then he just got stuck for a moment here. You'll see it, yeah. He just got, like, stuck when I asked him to come off the rail, which could have been me using too much inside rein. Sometimes I think he also just forgets where his legs are for a second. He just occasionally, he just forgets. It's very silly of him. But it's okay. And this circle was decent. My reins were a little bit long, but like probably one of our better 15-meter circles we've ever done. And I remember feeling like this lengthening was really good. I don't really know because you can't really see from behind me, but I remember being happy with it while I was riding. He's so animated. He's so cute. And then I liked that simple change. We probably took one or two too many trot steps, but he was really nice and soft about it, which I appreciate. He braced through that transition a little bit, but that's okay. It's a work in progress. He's just a baby. Not really, but he did just start dressage less than a year ago. So, it's okay. And he had like no flat work before. I really loved his trot down center line here. And it was quite a nice halt.
Lead it, Ryan.
Go, Ryan, go!
And if Ryan
Go, Sophie!
can lead the way,
Woo
and all of you will go around once, and then we'll leave one more for our two champions.
Woo woo!
Our victory gallop. We all won. Champion. 3 champions in the house. Look at us go. Beautiful. Beautiful.
We're all picking up. Where's my trophy?
We're going to get our trophies.
Yep.
Beautiful. Hello. I am on the way home. I'm like an hour and a half away from home right now, and I'm really bored and struggling and dying, and my back really hurts, but we did it. Oh, what is happening? Ew, there's traffic. Ew. There's traffic. It's disgusting. It's also 118 degrees out here in the desert right now. I'm really happy with how this weekend went. Obviously because like winning, but Pasta was so good, and the first day he started out a little stressed out, but then the second day he relaxed more, and every day he just got more relaxed and happy to be there, and that just made me really happy. And I feel like I rode well, and it was the first time I've ever been to a big out-of-town show, and I've ridden the same way I would ride at home. Like, I felt like I totally knew what I was doing, and yes, there were like mistakes, obviously, because mistakes happen, and he's a young horse who hasn't done dressage for less than a year, and obviously I'm not a perfect person, I make mistakes, but like every step of every test I had a thought process and I knew what I was doing, and that's not something that I've ever had at any out-of-town show, jumping or dressage. I've never been able to control my nerves enough to have that thought process. And honestly, the show, I wasn't really nervous at all. Today, before my second championship test, I got like a little bit nervous, but I really wasn't nervous at all. So that was big, and Pasta was in a great headspace too, which is also big. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy it was successful, and I feel like we accomplished a lot. Obviously, we're going home with a lot to work on, but we accomplished a lot and had fun, and Pasta was happy to be there. I don't think you guys want to hear anything more from me. I don't have anything of value to say, so I'm going to leave. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later. Subscribe if you're feeling it. No pressure. No pressure.